Hold me back.
Now, that's a big boy. He's strong. You know, you box good. You can do this. You got this over him. You're gonna have to tighten up this. You're gonna have to do this. You know, it's a conversation.
With Canelo said, I believe Canelo at one particular time thought I was scared of him.
Boxing fans, the unthinkable is happening. Floyd Mayweather, the man who once dominated Canelo Alvarez, has now stepped in to guide Terence Crawford for the biggest challenge of his career. The GOAT himself is sharing secrets from his 2013 victory, and legends believe this could completely change the outcome of Crawford versus Canelo. But what exactly did Floyd say? And why are insiders calling this a game changer? Mayweather's very first comments after joining Crawford's camp were filled with confidence. He praised Crawford's discipline, reminding everyone that his own experience against Canelo in 2013 still holds the blueprint to victory. Floyd believes his insights and strategy could be the X factor Crawford needs to shock the world.
You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Mayweather recalled his fight against a young, powerful Canelo despite giving up size. Floyd completely outclassed him with speed, precision, and ring IQ. He reminded fans that strategy and skill can defeat raw power, a message Crawford has taken to heart.
It wasn't my idea. So at one particular time, you guys can, anybody, you can go online and pull this up. It was an article. So with Canelo said, I believe Canelo at one particular time thought I was scared of him, you know, that I was afraid. So he said, Floyd don't want to fight me. I'm willing to meet him at 152 pounds or 152 and a half. And me, I called his bluff and said, if you want to do it, let's do it at 152 or 152 and a half. And, but after Canelo made the weight, it wasn't like it was a certain clause to where he couldn't gain weight. So after he weighed 152 or 152 and a half, I think he came in like 168 or close to 170. And actually I came in at probably like, I probably came in at 151 and 152.
Gotcha.
But Roy Jones is one hell of a fighter. You know, I can't get on here and hate on his skills and knock his skills. He's been through a lot in the sport of boxing, and he's done a lot for the sport of boxing. And I'm absolutely proud of Roy Jones.
When asked about Crawford's chances, Floyd didn't sugarcoat it. He warned that moving up in weight brings real challenges, but with the right game plan, Crawford can neutralize Canelo's strength. Floyd insists preparation, patience, and discipline are the keys to success.
Terence Crawford jumping up from 154 to 168 and beating this quote-unquote version of Canelo Alvarez would diminish the accomplishment that Floyd Mayweather accomplished beating his version of Canelo Alvarez. Is it two different versions of Canelo Alvarez? And obviously, Canelo Alvarez is 62 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is obviously bigger. When Floyd fought him, it was at 152 catch weight, but it had no rehydration clause. So you might as well just say it was at 154. Now, two things they have in common is that Floyd Mayweather was 36, 37 years of age. Terence Crawford is 37 years of age, going on 38. So he'll be 38 when he fights Canelo Alvarez. Floyd had already had 2 fights at 154. He had the fight with Miguel Cotto, and he had the fight with Oscar De La Hoya.
Las Vegas, Mayweather stopped by to watch Shocker Stevenson train and shared laughs with Eddie Hearn and Crawford. Floyd even playfully reminded Hearn of his billion-dollar career earnings, showing the lighter side of boxing while keeping the focus on mentorship and legacy.
Called me early. It's like, yo, when you sparring, I'm gonna come to the gym. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna spar at 4 o'clock. I really didn't think he was gonna pull up, but he pulled up. It means everything. His advice and listening to him in the ring. He calling out little shit. I'm trying to make sure I do what he say. So I appreciate it.
You hear him when he was sparring?
Hell yeah, I can hear everything he's saying. He want me to box. He want me to. I can hear him, but sometimes it's like it's hard to listen. Sometimes I gotta listen a little bit more. A hell of a blessing to have Bud, Floyd, all these guys backing me, and I appreciate them. I'm just trying to keep pushing and keep getting better and better.
Hearn later admitted he hadn't planned on meeting Crawford and Floyd that day, but came away impressed. He described Crawford as humble, authentic, and surprisingly funny, a fighter who's beginning to open up to fans in new ways.
I was just in the gym. They probably heard I was there, so they wanted to pull up. You know what I'm saying?
What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, I've never really spoke to Floyd before. I've met him half a dozen times, and we've sort of said hello and all that kind of stuff. But actually, he's a funny fucker. He is. And I'm single-handedly making Terence Crawford the most popular fighter in the world, because I am the only one that's ever brought out his personality. True or false? Right? And Terence is one of the top guys in the sport.
But even if he wasn't, you'd still say that because your business mind now is working and you're going, oh,
I wouldn't say top. I might say top, but he's unbelievably humble. Let me give you an example. Terence Crawford is with Steve Nelson's team, okay? They are staying at a hotel, part of the Cosmopolitan Group, across the street, all right? Nice hotel.
Oh, my hotel.
Yeah, okay. Nice, right, but, you know, there are many more fancy hotels in Las Vegas, okay? He has a standard room there, and we said to him, listen, do you want us to get you he could go into any hotel in Vegas and get a palatial suite. And he said, no, I want to stay with Steve for the week in a standard room. Now, to some people, they might go, oh, big deal. You know what people are like. I don't know many people that would actually do that. Floyd definitely wouldn't do that. But Terence is probably one of the most humble fighters in his position of the sport. And do you know what I love about being in environments like that last night? The love for the sport. Like Terence is watching Shakur sparred. Shakur sparred 14 rounds. 14 4-minute rounds with 30-second breaks. And Terence and Floyd watched the entire spar. They then went to another ring and watched another, I think it was Ray Ford, and watched another spar.
Respected trainer Teddy Atlas weighed in, saying Crawford's slick defense, footwork, and angles could expose Canelo's slower movements at this stage of his career. Atlas asked the critical question, can Canelo still close the distance against a fighter as elusive as Crawford?
It seems like it's not official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford. Against Matador, people are going to say, oh, he had some hiccups. Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Matador was a little difficult to eat, he's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. But when you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is, but who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight, He's beaten anybody that they put in front of him. He beat an undefeated fighter in Errol Spence that everybody thought was just like, you know, one of the best fighters out there, which he was. He was. He was one of the top fighters pound for pound out there, and he didn't just beat him, he dismantled him. He might have ruined him. We were talking about getting ruined in fights earlier. He might have ruined him. We don't know. He hasn't been back yet, Spence. He may have psychologically, physically ruined him. But he has done everything asked of him, and he's done it in a superb way. It's not that he's just won. I look at how people win. You know, how versatile are they? How mentally together are they? What happens when they're tested? What happens when they have to make an adjustment? You know, I look at all those things. What happens when they can't depend on power? What else do they have to depend on? I look at everything, their technique, their defense, their offense, all of it. And I look at Crawford as one of those special guys. I don't care if you guys are tired of me saying it. I look at him, look, Canelo's special too. I get it. And he's bigger. I get that too.
And critics argue Crawford hasn't fought elite names, but Crawford's response is simple. Every top fighter becomes average after he dominates them. He refuses excuses, no weight clauses, no restrictions, just pure skill versus skill. That confidence has fans buzzing.
Lines these days. He's cemented his legacy. I think he's certified Hall of Famer whenever he wraps it up. Stepped up in weight, won another world title last time out. Now they're talking about this fight with Canelo Alvarez. It was interesting to see the comments from Canelo on how he sort of assessed Bud Crawford's career. I almost feel after the Spence fight that was like an exclamation point on everything he's done, maybe from the critics who never gave him credit, but it almost seems like Canelo was downplaying his achievements. What do you make of that? Is that to build a fight? Because it sells itself.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think Crawford rebuttal was everybody always say he hasn't fought nobody, or everybody that he fought was a no name. But I'm gonna tell you like this, what Crawford said. Well, they was something until Crawford fought him. So obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
Not everyone, like when they go against Canelo, you know, I don't think there's anyone else in boxing who you would ask and say this is a possible task for, but for Crawford, because of his pound for pound abilities, and apparently no rehydration clause. Am I hearing that right? He wants full smoke at that weight.
Let's go, man. That's what Crawford wants. He wants to show the world that he's the best. So, and why put stipulations in there when you know that you can be the best? So let's go test ourselves.
Look, I appreciate you taking this time, and we don't get to speak all the time, so it's good to get you over here, and maybe we catch up later in fight week, but I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right.
In the May, I've read somewhere that Canelo has shortlisted Crawford for the May fight, his fight in May. Dan, what's happening?
Yeah, listen, I think it's just a fluid situation. I don't think there's anything definitive one way or the other at this point. I mean, it's not a secret that that's a fight that's been discussed by a lot of us and by a lot of people in the sport for quite a while. Certainly, it's a fight that Turki Al-Sheikh from Saudi Arabia has shown a lot of interest in. And of course, if it's going to get made, someone's going to have to put up a lot of guaranteed money. And he's probably the person that's going to do it. He's obviously been working closely with Terence Crawford. He was involved with Terence Crawford's last fight that took place in August when he fought Israel Madrimov. It's obviously a fight that Terence Crawford has been very vocal about wanting. Now, Canelo hasn't ever said he wanted the fight, kind of downplayed it to a certain degree. But it wasn't that long ago, I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago, he was doing an appearance and he was asked about it and he didn't close the door on it. In the past, he sort of like closed the door on it. It was like, I'm not interested. He's like, listen, I'll talk to anybody and listen to what they have to say about the deal, any kind of deal. So in my mind, that sort of at least cracked open the door to have the conversation. Like he wasn't just saying, forget it, in terms of working with Turki or anybody else. So I think that Canelo is a smart person in terms of his boxing, but also in terms of his business. And when he looks around at the landscape and he wants to make a huge amount of money, like all top fighters or any fighter for that matter, and he looks and sees, who can I fight where I can make the biggest score, in a big time fight?
Business, with few names left. At middleweight, Canelo sees Crawford as the one opponent who brings hype, legacy, and money all in one fight. Fans and promoters agree. This is the fight boxing needs. So, can Mayweather's blueprint really help Crawford pull off the upset of the decade? Or will Canelo prove too strong once again? Drop your thoughts below. Crawford or Canelo? The story is just getting started.